arm around you.
You are weird, you know. Anyway, it's never a dull moment when the two of us are together. We are finally out building.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
It's about damn time.
Right? All right, so it's finally the beginning of May, and it's our first project of the season because you guys have been out doing a tremendous amount of cleanouts.
Yeah, quite a few. It's about time we start building now.
Are you tired of cleanouts?
Yeah, you could say that. And once again, it's just the two of us.
I know. I think we ended the season that way.
Yeah, we end it, we start it.
It's all right, we don't
the
care.
Season. It's all right. Whatever it is, it is.
We're just going to work anyway, so it doesn't matter. So today, we are in Clifton Park, New York, and we are going to renovate a 20-year-old Pondscapes waterfall.
Yeah, it'll be exciting.
I mean, technology was different back then. Of course, even when we started way back then, they didn't have all the components that they have now. And unfortunately, I think this pit is filled with gravel.
Yeah, gravel, leaves, you name it.
And we're going to show you a couple other ways that they tried to fix what they did wrong. Just never going to work.
Nope, just going to create more problems the way they fixed it.
All right, so we're going to get started. We'll take you out back. We're going to walk through this project, and I don't know. Let's see what we come up with.
Yeah, it'll be exciting either way.
Are you actually going to work today?
I'm going to try.
Leave your lawn chair in the truck, would you? Because I mean, I need some help today. You can't just sit there and watch.
I brought my wheelchair. That'll help.
Yeah. And no peeking in the neighbor's windows either.
You sicko.
All right, so today Jason and I are going to get started with this pondless renovation. About 20 years ago, this was constructed, and over time things happen. Things move. Technology is different. So what we're going to do is give this a total makeover. We're going to remove everything. We're going to put a new liner in. We're going to put a new basin in. So that will consist of a pondless vault, aqua blocks, and of course check valves, remote control pump. We're just going to modernize this. There is some lights in here, but we might have to add some new ones just to kind of give it that night view. But we're going to end up moving like these hostas and things like that over in here in order to give us a little leeway. Some of these rocks are going to be pretty cool to reuse. We're going to have to bring in some tomorrow, but for today we're just going to remove everything because 20 years ago things were constructed totally different. There is no aqua blocks in the bottom of this. So this is the old snorkel and centipede module that we actually use for wetlands now rather than small pondlesses like this. So we're going to put aqua blocks in there. We're going to put the new pondless vault, check valve assembly, make it just super easy to maintain because right now it's tough. They were having problems with the water not getting back down into the gravel because it's all been plugged. So their remedy was just to go ahead and drill holes in the side of this snorkel, which is not optimal. It's not going to work, but you know what? We're going to renovate everything, so it really doesn't matter. So Jason and I are going to get at it. You just have to follow along and see what we come up with. It's always interesting to see what we're going to find when we start ripping stuff apart. And although there's in some applications these rubber boots are not such a problem, over long term just want to use them because anything could happen with that rubber. I'd rather see it glued. Generally that's why we will take and bulk fit the liner with our new Spillways, so then that way it's a nice clean seal, no problems, everything is glued and it won't come apart. This, I just barely tugged on it and fell right apart. It could be a water loss, you just never know. And these old style Spillways, look how crushed that is. They can't take any weight. The new Spillways are extremely tough and easy to use and hide, as you'll see throughout this video. Many little rocks. What we're doing is we're basically just going to stage them. We'll go through and see if there's anything that we want to use, especially going to save the ones with the moss on there because this is in low light, so it's really going to thrive. One of the cool parts is we were able to pull this huge sheet of moss right off the top and reuse that because we're always introducing moss in a low light area anyhow. That'll just be able to reconstitute that piece and put it somewhere that it's going to look really, really good. So in the beginning, when we were talking about how they used to do things like 20 years ago, and we all did this, and nothing against the person that built this, it's just that this is the way it was back then before we had aquablock. But all this stuff is just solid plug. There's no way water is going to get through it because it was never really rinsed or cleaned out properly. Even though that large snorkel and Centipede module in the bottom are there, you would have had to every year rinse and rinse and rinse in order to get the debris out of that gravel. It would have been a lengthy process. But by us putting the aquablocks in there, not only is it going to give more water storage, but it's going to be much easier to clean. What in God's name do you have down there?
We've got a Centipede, Al, that's been blocked by a bunch of flat stone. It kind of defeated the purpose of having it there.
Actually, we've taken a lot of this flat stone out that you can see right here. The both of us understand what they were trying to do, but what they did is they covered all the holes on the Centipede module rather than leaving like just little areas for water to get through and then all this gravel plugged. So it was actually totally defeating the purpose, and filling this right up with gravel, it just, what did she say? It never really were able they were never really able to leave it run.
No. Could you imagine?
So this is exactly why we
It was perfect.
Are you okay?
I am good.
Jeez.
I'm even better now that this is out of the way.
That's it. I'm going to start calling you Grace from now on because you're so graceful. So we know that 8 aquablocks is going to have more than enough water in it for this really short pondless because it's not super wide. But we were going to put them together anyway, so we figured, well, yeah, we can do the math, but it's just as quick just for us to lay it out, put a measurement to it, which is going to basically be 65 by 55 in inches, and that's how big of a reservoir we're going to dig. So all we're going to do is come back over to here. We're going to reshape this and shallow it up some because it's way too deep, and we don't need to have that much depth for this short of an area because we're going to the aquablocks and not all that cobble and gravel. We got Jason over here. He's finally finished the last aquablock so we can dry fit this and get our measurement for our pondless vault. What did it take you, like 4 or 5 hours?
I think about 2 minutes. Maybe 15 minutes.
I never seen you do anything in 2 minutes, buddy. All kidding aside, so Jason's working on that last one. We're actually going to have to cut a piece. So like I said before, we calculated the length of stream that we have here, which is very small by the time we're all said and done. One of the things we like to do is to make sure that our pondless pits go back into that stream area so we can kind of choke this pit down. So we'll have a waterfall way out into here, so then that way that basin doesn't look so big, but yet we have all that water storage underneath there. And the way we're going to accomplish that is once we get all our liner in and stuff, we'll actually put the gravel on the inside of the liner rather than put soil on the back side of this in some spots, not in all of them, but in some. And then that way we're also going to increase the amount of water, not by a lot, but maybe get another 10-15 gallons out of it, which is good. Anything helps. So let's go over here and look at the pondless vault. All right, so the pondless vault is sitting there and it's dry fitted, so now I can mark it out and dig it down lower while Jason's finishing up that aqua block. The one thing is the reason that foot is on there is we have to dig it down so that the top of that foot is actually level with the bottom of the aqua blocks. So the bottom of the aqua block is going to lay on top of that, so that means it's going to drop that vault all the way down. One of the reasons we tucked it over in this corner is when we do our rock work over into here, we're going to be able to totally disguise that vault, but yet from the the back side of the brick area, you're going to be able to access it very easily for maintenance as far as winter and pondless openings and all that other stuff. And then we'll be able to angle a waterfall over here on this side, because to the back of me there's a table, and there's a table to the left of me, so we're going to be able to get a viewing point from each location. And then with this gazebo, it's important for us to take that into consideration too, for where that first waterfall drop is going to be and where it's facing. Should be able to get 3 drops out of this, maybe 1 more than that if we go a little bit shallower, but we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so the alka blocks are all in, and we took our gravel and went all the way around the outside of it to lock all those in. Now what we're going to do is put a very thin layer of gravel down so we can start building that first waterfall. It'll actually be the last waterfall coming into the pit, but it's actually the first one that we're going to build, so then we can carve all that area out up there. So on this particular application, being that we're only going to have like a 10-foot long stream, we're going to use an Aquascape SLD 2 to 5,000 adjustable flow pump. The reason we're doing that is because not only is the house behind us, with the proximity of the walls of the house and stuff, we want to make sure that people are able to have a conversation and have it not be too loud. So maybe you're out here and you just have the 2 of you and you want to be more serene, you can gear that thing down. But if it's windy out like it is today, or maybe you've got multiple people here or a party, you can turn this back up all the way to the 5,000. It's going to have a much better show, and the sound won't be as deafening when you have other things going on. Now, for me, I like more flow the better, so that wouldn't be a problem, but everybody has a little bit different sensitivity to what sounds are. In an application where maybe you have a lot of traffic or something like that, that's where the adjustable pump comes in, when you can gear it up more and you can kind of make that a little bit more suitable for your need. So Jason has got the dual union check valve all set up on this SLD pump, so we can get ready to put it in our pondless vault. So what Jason has here in his left hand is the universal remote, and then this is the keypad. You could actually adjust the flow right from that keypad that's going to be next to your outlet, but what's nice is, being that we're so close to the house here, that they can turn this on and off from inside the house, and it doesn't need to run 24/7. It's not a pond, it doesn't have any fish life or anything like that in it, so the fact that you can go away for a week, 2 days, a month, and just shut this thing off with the remote from inside the house. When you get home, you might want to unpack your clothes, open the windows, and just turn that on and gear it up so you can hear it right through. So the remote is just really nice. Let's face it, who doesn't like a remote?
Remote's nice and convenient.
You're such a robot.
Your Facebook. Remote.
All right, so I'm with Judy, and we have just finished off this beautiful pondless waterfall, and we just kind of wanted to sit down and we wanted to ask you a few questions. So when you first saw the trucks rolling up, what was your first expectations when the guys first came?
Well, I was hoping, because it was a renovation of the pond, the existing pond that we had, and I wasn't sure how it was going to go and what all it was going to entail, even though it was written down in the quote, and you always think about how is this going to work, So when they got here, I was very impressed that, they got right on doing, they had a drone, and I was like, that is incredible. They did this drone around, and they brought in all their equipment, and I thought, this looks very professional. They really have done this before, and they were highly recommended to me. Anyway, they have been here for 4 days doing this, and each day I could see how they were going with it, and I'm more than pleased. It's been a great experience. The guys are very nice, easy to work around, and it's been a wonderful experience. It's a different shape than what it was, and I like it so much better. I would recommend these guys anytime. I really would. Deckers, Pondscapes did a beautiful job for us, and I was very happy with it. And right on time, just when they told me.
Well, thank you for letting us come and rebuild this pondless for you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you.